This is what the impact of an airstrike looks like 1 year on. When I first saw Jouma, it was a shock to see his face. When I first saw his father's feet with just 2 toes, it is a shock. But then immediately, straight after, you see him for what he really is, as the 4-year-old little boy, curious about the world and adored by his parents. We've just finished filming with Jouma and his family. They live upstairs here in this building. They're at the top of the stairs. When we started filming, Jouma had just woken up and he was having a banana for breakfast, and he was peeling it himself, even though he's completely blind. He was still peeling off those tiny little strands and giving them to his mom, like any child does. Jouma and his family are Kurds from a rural area in the north of Syria, and they were fleeing in 2018. And they were on a bus when an airstrike hit. The window next to Jouma completely shattered and destroyed his face. And even now, sometimes there's still bleeding and small pieces of glass come out of his skin. They all live here in neighboring Lebanon. They live in a very poor area of Beirut, and they all live together in one tiny little room. Lebanon is already struggling with a huge refugee crisis. The UN says there's more than 1 million refugees here. The Lebanese government say it's more, around 1.5 million. There was a lovely moment when Jouma was feeling the face of our Kurdish translator, learning to recognize her. Because they're Kurdish and they're from a rural area, they only speak Kurdish, so it's quite difficult here to communicate with people in Arabic. They're reliant on a woman from the Kurdish community, Tolim. She helps them with translation, getting food. She's even helping them apply for asylum in Europe. But like thousands of other refugees, they have to wait a long time for a response. In the pre-interview, when we were discussing their experience and what happened, you could see that Jouma was clearly distressed. And that's why we decided that it wasn't right to get them to talk about it on camera and talk about that experience again. What struck me the most was not just the severe physical scars, but also the deep traumatic and psychological effects of their experience. The father's starting to forget things. They say it's very difficult to sleep at night. And this psychological trauma will be with them for the rest of their lives. Jouma was very curious about the camera and came over and touched all the buttons and was playing with the microphone and even learning how to use quite a complicated clip at the top of the camera. So although he is completely blind, you could see that his other senses were starting to get a lot stronger.